we're on wave 16 here with 6 health and negative 10 armor. Look at all the ricochets. I can't see anything. Look at all the ricochets. I can't see anything. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Today we're going to be attempting to break open endless mode using the demon character. Have you ever wanted to fulfill your demon fantasies? Have you ever wanted to sit on your throne of skulls as you drink your goblet of blood? Well, I have good news. Today we'll be able to fulfill all our demonic fantasies as we move into the deep depths, or maybe we're ascending into the heavens of endless mode. That said, I don't know if fulfilling our demonic fantasies is actually a good thing. That said, time shall in fact tell. Early on, really looking for attack speed. Now, obviously, Demon has the notable mechanic of paying health for items, which does have the bonus of letting us buy a lot, and I mean a lot, of items early, as I am somewhat happy with 2 coupons there, and we'll go ahead and actually take a touch of range. If you do not get at least 5 Ghost Scepters, I would recommend you go ahead and re-roll your run, as we are going into Endless Mode and we want to get a good, efficient start. That said, because we got 2 good items, I'm happy to kind of see how this one pans out with 5. A lot of people do have questions on how that coupon works with demons, since we pay with health and not materials, and I will elaborate in a little bit at a more appropriate time. That said, off to a good start here with both those coupons. For free, sure, we'll take a Gentle Alien, although I do think it can be a bit risky to overload on those a little too early due to the challenges this character faces, but I'm really happy to go ahead and buy a couple of Ghost Scepters here. As Ghost Scepters cost, I should have bought that Weird Ghost first, so that was a minor mistake there. Ghost Scepters do only cost 1 health point at common until wave 3, where they start costing 2. So we really want to buy as many Ghost Scepters as possible, as most of our damage will actually come from increasing our Ghost Scepter tier, especially in the first 10 or so waves. Now, Ghost Scepters, again, give you 1 permanent stat upgrade for every 20 enemies killed at common, and this goes down all the way to 12 enemies killed at legendary. As a reminder, that is enemies killed per Ghost Scepter, not overall, so do something we want to be mindful of. Don't mind taking a touch of harvesting. That said, sure, we'll take a little bit of range damage. Early on in the first 3 or 4 waves, we really wanted to be cognizant of items like Weird Ghost, which costs us 1 health but give us 3. Just gives us a little bit more oxygen, a little bit more money to spend. I really do love seeing another Ghost Scepter, as well as a bag, which is a capped item, and really, really happy here for another Ghost Scepter. And we'll go ahead and pick both of these up in the next wave. Now, you will notice we spent all the way down to 1 max HP, and we'll continue to do that for the first 10 or so waves. So if you do want to make this build work, we will need to essentially spend our health really, really aggressively on the items, especially early, as in the grand scheme of a long run, these prices do become relatively inconsequential. So we're able to get a lot of items very, very quickly on Demon, and that is definitely a mechanic which we do, in fact, want to prioritize. So for the first 10 or so waves, we will essentially be playing at 0 health, so we will not have any flexibility to get hit until, I'd say, past wave 9, which I think is just how you need to play this character if you want to make it work to the best of their ability. Somewhat tempted by crit chance, but I will re-roll, and we will go ahead and take a little bit of range damage, even though it's not the absolute best thing we can take at the moment. Again, I really want to prioritize attack speed, so we'll take the Gummy Berserker. However, we will take the Broken Mouth first, which will give us 5 HP at the cost of 2, just giving us a little bit more money to spend in these early waves, as does Alien Worm, which will give us 3 HP for the cost of 2. So just seeing as we get another Broken Mouth, how we're now able to ramp up how much health we have as we get another Broken Mouth in order to buy a lot of items early. I actually do not hate a Baby Gecko, as it is a limited item, and I'll do one more reroll here, and we'll go and take another Baby Gecko, as well as a little bit of luck, just to get our health down to 3. Again, we are not afraid to take items, even if they don't necessarily help us immediately, but it's just so easy to buy these items in these first 6 or so waves that I essentially will take anything that will help us. Although obviously upgrading our Ghost Scepters is the priority, because the majority of our increased damage will come from upgrading those Ghost Scepters, not necessarily from our damage stats. You notice I'm talking a lot about attack speed, as I do think that's a really important stat to prioritize early when we are playing a endless Ghost Scepter build with Demon. The reason being is these Ghost Scepters actually do pretty good single target damage. However, they have absolutely abysmal wave clear. They're not good at killing hordes of enemies. Notably, this has a significant challenge on wave 9, so we want to make sure we have at least between we want around 50 attack speed by the time we get to wave 9. So I don't mind re-rolling somewhat aggressively here. I do not see what I need, so I'll actually take a little bit of speed just to stay ahead of the enemies, as well as a touch. All right, we'll do one more reroll. I just really don't like any of those. And again, much happier with 8 harvesting. Go ahead and keep upgrading those Ghost Scepters. Don't need any of that. Love another Ghost Scepter here. Again, really Really happy to buy pretty much anything that helps. And love a coffee. Again, I really want to get that attack speed up to wave, up to between 40 and 50. I'd say 60 would be even better by wave 9, simply because if we do not get our attack speed up nice and early, we will get destroyed on wave 9, because we get a lot of tiny enemies that just sort of run into the big weakness of this build, which does not have good wave clear. That said, once we get this thing going, it'll be insanely broken and overpowered by the time we get to wave 12 or so. So I am happy to pick up a little bit more attack speed just to get us a little bit closer to that breakpoint. Now, as a reminder, these Ghost Scepters really do work well with Demon's mechanics, simply because they give us a lot of extra health throughout the run, which means we have a lot of extra health to spend on items throughout the run, which means we can get a lot more items before Endless Mode, which is where the strength of playing Demon in Endless Mode comes together. So I look forward to showcasing that here today. As you can see, we are starting to get some value out of our Ghost Scepters now, getting about 7 or 8 health that run just from the Ghost Scepters, and that number will continue to go up. Don't hate a little bit of crit chance and love another Ghost Scepter, putting us at a much better tier here. Somewhat tempted by Snail, but we just do not have the speed to afford, and we'll go ahead and grab a coupon. And I do love a banner, again, more attack speed, and I do not mind a Bean Teacher either. We're already at -6 on, we're going to die in one shot, so why not take a wheelbarrow, and then love this Ghost Scepter here, which we will buy next wave as we enter these eggs. So let's talk about how coupon works on Demon, because I think that understandably is a sort of head scratcher, right? We're paying items for health. How does how does coupon cost, make our items cost less? And the way this actually works is the game calculates item price on Demon and then converts that item price into a health cost. And it does this at a rate of 20 materials for 1 health. So what the game will actually do is calculate the item price and then multiply that item price, divide that item price by 20. So 20 materials are equal to 1 health. So if we have an item that costs 400 materials on the shop page, that will cost 20 health. So again, items are purchased at a 20-to-1 conversion rate. The way coupon plays into this is if that number gets knocked down enough to sort of create a new integer, then it will be 1 health lower. Excuse me as I get a little bit hoarse here. Again, I do record these before work. You can see me in my workout clothes here. I hope you enjoy them. And again, speed is quite tempting, but 15% increased attack speed is just way too good. Really happy with the Ghost Scepter as well as a bag, as that is a limited item. So I do feel quite good about where this run is at this point, as we already have 2 legendary Ghost Scepters by wave 8. You know, I do think Crown can be quite good on this build, so I'm not necessarily unhappy to see that here, even if we don't have the world's most explosive, and again, the most harvesting yet. And again, I'm really happy with that banner there, spinning us all the way down to 2 health going into wave 8. But again, that attack speed I just think is so important to make sure we do not get destroyed on wave 9. Now, one quick thing to talk about is the upgrades when it comes to Ghost Scepters, as there's kind of like an edge mechanic. We start at 20 enemies killed per Ghost Scepter at common, goes down to 18 at uncommon, goes down to 16 at epic. However, that number drops all the way down to 12 at legendary. What this means is the legendary upgrade does matter more. You get a better bonus going to legendary than you do in the 3 other upgrades. What this means is you occasionally, again, case-by-case basis, do you want to prioritize getting your Ghost Scepters upgrade to legendary versus having like a bunch of epics? And you can see I did follow that strategy here as we went ahead and upgraded our 2 Ghost Scepters to legendary relatively earlier. If you really want to play like an edge case, it then can make a little more sense to position yourself so your Ghost Scepters, your legendary Ghost Scepters, attack more frequently by kind of pointing those at the enemy, but we won't worry too much about that yet, and I will incorporate that a little bit. I love another coffee as well. We'll go ahead and take the 9 max HP to spend more, as well as the HP regen. So we were able to get all the way up to 95 attack speed by the time we get to wave 9, which I do think will help us quite a bit. Not afraid of a little crit, as again, you know, we do want to leave ourselves open to something like a hunting trophy. And that Adrenaline's a unique item, and we do have some good dodge from our Ghost Scepter, so I'm happy with that. And because our percent damage is so low, I do not mind a Cyclops from there. As we really are getting some good Ghost Scepters, so I'm quite happy to see all that. As we get another Ghost Scepter, which I will happily upgrade. And again, I'll spend as much health as I need to, even going down to 1 into wave 9. Do one more reroll here, and we'll go ahead and hang on that blindfold for next time. So we are on wave 9, so we will see if we can survive this. I do think we have enough attack speed and good enough Ghost Scepters where we should be okay, and then we shall quickly snowball from here if we are able to survive, as we already have 4 legendary Ghost Scepters. We'll remember that we actually started this wave at 7 health, as we'll see. We'll get a lot of extra HP from this, as we will be taking out lots of enemies. But you can see doing an okay job of keeping the map clear. We will likely get hit on this, even with like our -6 armor. But the good news is we're able to scale so quickly with our Ghost Scepters here that you can see we started at 7 with 1 level up. We're already at 27 health. So we do get a lot of health as I started taking aggressive dodge there. Barely missed that bruiser, but we did persevere. So you can see our health just absolutely ratcheting up, which is, of course, a lot of fun to see. And we will sort of snake around there again. We could probably use a little bit more speed. But we can really see our Ghost Scepters starting to give us a ton of awesome health here as I do take a hit, which, again, is somewhat unavoidable when you do get to this wave 9, unless you get something like a bandana or a baby with a beard. But you can see a really good start there. Asking you shall receive. Happy with a baby with a beard there, as well as a little bit of speed. And because we do have a crown, I don't mind a little bit of harvesting. We'll go ahead and take pretty much everything here. Sort of debating if we want the armor. We are at -7. But we'll go ahead and take the plating instead. Alien Worm still costing us less than it gives us, so we'll be happy to take it. And do like a baby gecko, do like a crit chance, and again, do like a broken mouth. We will aggressively upgrade our Ghost Scepters and go ahead and take all these baby geckos again, as they are a limited item. -3 range, I think, is fine. And I do still think we want to think about attack speed. So really do like a Poisonous Tonic, again, for range as well as attack speed and crit. And do like a padding, because we are thinking about Endless Mode. We'll do one more reroll here, take a touch of speed. Although now we really want to get a little more range, as I did leave that Ghost Scepter. However, we didn't really have a good upgrade pack. So we did finally find an AoE solution, which is the baby with the beard. Other notable ones that we want to think about are things like Bandana. Bandana is absolutely broken on the Ghost Scepters. Now, you may be thinking, well, if I get Baby with a Beard, that's less things for me to kill with my Ghost Scepters, that's less health, and that is a valid point. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say this is 100% the right choice. However, I do think the additional clear is worth the trade-off of not being able to kill enough things with your Ghost Scepters. I mean, it's not, again, black and white. However, I do think these Ghost Scepters struggle with area clear, and just getting some more allows us to kill a lot more enemies, and I do think that trade is overall worth it. As we're off to a relatively good start here with that crown really going to help us scale. So we were fortunate to find an early scaly solution, an early scaling solution. We're not talking about geckos or lizards here, are we? I do have quite a few baby geckos, so maybe we do have a scaly solution to our scaling solution. That is a fun word pun. I'm very happy about that. Do love a spicy sauce for free, and I can actually take that harvesting with that crown. Let's keep cranking. Actually, we only got 6 speed, so we'll go ahead and upgrade that. I don't believe we've taken a boxing glove, so I do like that, as well as a little bit of range. No Ghost Scepter upgrade available to us there, but there is one available to us there. Also like a little luck, so we can get even better Ghost Scepters. Happy with that improved tools as a unique item, as well as a little bit of range, as well as a gummy Berserker. But you can see we're at -8 armor. That said, you have to risk it for the biscuit. Like another speed. And we'll go ahead and do this Ghost Scepter upgrade. I don't mind taking a range even more, again, getting us good crit. Happy with that there. And also really do love a weak, giving us range damage as well as harvesting. We'll do one more reroll here, take the cake, and again, I think at this point it's probably best to save our money. So we can see here wave 11 with a huge slew of legendary Ghost Scepters, as we're feeling really, really good about where this run is headed. But again, look at all these items we already have, and we are at wave 11. And that is sort of the advantage of playing Endless Mode with Demon, is Demon just allows you to buy so many items in normal mode, and those items we get to take with us into Endless, right? Like, use them if you got them, or something like that. But that is quite strong, and I do think one of the big advantages of playing Demon in Endless Mode is that we get these... oh man, I was trying to look at the camera and make a little winky face, and I ended up taking a little bit of damage. Fortunately, we did not get one shot, so do not wink at your camera while you're doing this, as you will run in that situation. We have almost no regen, so I will probably have to go through the rest of this wave without getting hit, but that is the life I have chosen, so I will accept the consequences of my very, very, very greedy decisions. I'll sort of sneak around here and try to get into safety, as we will essentially die in one more hit. But again, we have to play really aggressively if we want to get the most out of Endless Mode. You and your runs do not have to play quite this aggressively. All the way up to 71 HP there. Do love that 16% damage, as that is quite low. Love an Alien Eyes, because we are thinking about Endless Mode, and we will aggressively upgrade our Ghost Scepters, even if that is not the most efficient way. We'll just take out that, as it is a sort of a unique epic item. Same with the Wisdom. I don't love the Wisdom, but I want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. We are at the point where we can take both the Cute Monkey as well as a... another Alien Eyes there. We're going into a Wave 12 Horde Wave, and we'll go ahead and buy the Sad Tomato again, getting that unique item off the board, as well as a little luck. So we'll head into Wave 12 with 20 health, and I do think we will be off to the races, as our harvesting is only 133, but that crown will really start to snowball here. So really happy with this Horde Wave that we do in fact have a Baby in the Beard. That'll make this challenge a lot more manageable. However, I do not necessarily want to sleep on this challenge is these horde waves can be relatively challenging on Demon with the Ghost Scepters, unless we get like some massive community supports, or we get something like a Retribution hoodie, which I do think is one of the best items you can get in this build, by the way. So I am looking forward to that, and that is also the reason why I do want to get my range up a little bit. You know, we don't need a ton of positive range on this character, but I really will be taking the hoodie no matter when we see it. So I do want to be sure that like we don't already have negative 40 range. You can go down to like negative 50 just fine on this character, but I don't want to be like in a negative 130 range. So you can see we are getting like a lot of enemies sort of coming at us as my alarm goes off, which I will hopefully stop without dying, which I did. So yay me, I get a pat on my head. But feeling pretty good about where this is headed, as we are able to take this wave out without too much issue. Pardon me, again, doing this in the early morning, and I am definitely a little bit hoarse. Do like a little bit of luck as well. Do not hate a silver bullet, as we do have a wave 14 and wave 17 leak coming up. We'll go ahead and get to full legendary Ghost Scepters. Doesn't that look nice? You know, because this is only net 1 health, which this is essentially a trade of 5 life steal for a crit, so not necessarily something I want to prioritize. Do love a little speed and love a vigilante ring, as I do on most endless mode characters. We are strong enough to start taking every single alien we see. Community support, cute monkey, and we'll go ahead and grab an alien tongue for a free roll. Excuse me. Do like another tree there, as well as a silver bullet. We'll do one more reroll here and take a coupon, just to help get those items a little less expensive. So you can see we are still playing very aggressively. We have negative, excuse me, negative 7 armor, and so we will get one shot. So taking the bait may have been a little greedy there. That's so we were able to deal with that challenge without too much difficulty. So we will be spending again as much health as we possibly can going into pretty much every wave of the game. So I'm not afraid to spend my money as aggressively as I need to in order to get as much power as possible going into endless mode, even if that means we essentially have to go through the entire game without getting hit. But that's okay. Really, really happy to see that community support here, even if it does drop us to negative 9 armor, as I do think turning these Ghost Scepters into just machine guns is one of the best ways to ensure success. So I do think that will be quite strong and help us do a good job of keeping these waves clear, killing more enemies with our Ghost Scepters. Notably, I would really, really like a bandana. That would make me very, very happy, as that gives us a lot more clear and just helps these Ghost Scepters kill even more enemies, which means more health, which makes me very, very happy. Health is happiness, because health is money. Money makes me happy. When we were playing Pro Potato. Right, call your shots, baby. There's our bandana. Oh boy, love to see that. And we'll take 45 range, actually, just to be in a good position to take some other good items. Man, we are getting some tough starts here. We'll go ahead and actually, we'll take some percent damage. I do think that can be quite good here. So let's reroll and try to find some more good items. We're going into an elite wave, so I don't know if I necessarily want the bait. Do love an alloy, do love a sunglasses, which again does put us at a somewhat dangerous negative 8 armor, but again, risk it for the biscuits. Even with positive melee damage, I don't know if I really want a rip and tear at this point. Alien Worm still gives us more health, so happy with that. Happy with the mouse, happy with the hedgehog, and we do not need the engineering item. We'll go ahead and get started here as we try to take down the Butcher Elite, which I do think we'll be able to handle all right, as we do have relatively good single target damage, even if our AoE damage, you know, is simply medium at this point. But you can see these Ghost Scepters do really give you good single target damage. We were able to handle that Elite without too much issue. So things that I would like to see from this point would be something like a Grind's Magical Leap. Would love an Anvil, as I do think an early Anvil to get your armor, you know, getting to an appropriate percentage is of utmost importance in endless mode, and with 74% crit chance, would love a hunting trophy. However, we are fortunate that we sort of have that crown to help us with that early to mid game scaling in this endless demon build. But yes, that bandana is ludicrously good when it comes to this build. It does in fact apply to our baby with a beard as well, so it helps us in a couple different ways. But just having these Ghost Scepters hit 2 enemies just makes them so much more efficient, helps us kill way, way, way more enemies, and get way, way, way more health, which are all very good things. So off to a good start here. Love a free extra stomach. That's extra health. Do not need a fuel tank, and we'll go ahead and take a little bit of luck, because I want to start seeing some better items. Do like a blindfold. Yeah, I will need to get that armor positive at some point, but that day is not today, as I will go ahead and hungrily take that glass cannon there. We'll worry about armor later. Sure, we'll take another baby with the beard. Why the heck not? Do love a small magazine. Again, Alien Worm's still giving us more health. I am somewhat tempted by a nuclear launcher, but that will not scale our health, so we'll pass on that. Do love an Alien Eyes. No, we're getting a lot of Ghost Scepters, and here we are. We are off to the races with a hunting trophy with already 79 crit, which will just give us a ton of health every single run, because there'll be a ton of materials, which means a ton of health. So we'll go ahead and check actually how much that gets. Nice thing about hunting trophy, along with bullet with a baby, baby with a beard, I can never even say, like every time I say them, I never say it right in the first try, is that those projectiles can in fact crit, meaning if we kill anything off that hunting trophy, or sorry, if we kill anything with our projectiles from the item, it does still in fact apply to our hunting trophy, which means we can make even more money, which will translate into even more health, which will make us even more happy. So really happy to see that hunting trophy. I do think with our hunting trophy, as well as crown, which again, we didn't go like an insane crown build, but it's still giving us over 200 extra materials a wave. I do think we'll be in a good position to kind of scale from here. So we're doing a good job of turning our Ghost Scepters into machine guns, as I believe our next elite is on wave 17, and we will go ahead and I think handle that quite easily. As you saw, you know, we did not have a whole lot of issues. We did not have a whole lot of issues with the Butcher Elite, and we did in fact get that. So I do have a padding, which means I need to be somewhat aggressive at picking up those items in the middle of the map. We'll take a fertilizer and roll around here. Do love a peacock as well, getting us some additional upgrades. Do not mind a fan, although where's our power generator? Love our tardigrade. And Weird Ghost, still the MVP. And again, I will go down to -8 armor. But we'll start thinking a little bit about dodge, so I'll go ahead and pick that up as well. Love the big arms. You know, why not? Let's just go to -10 armor and we'll keep buying Weird Ghosts. Is this how you should play at home? I have no comment. So we are going into wave 16 with -10 armor and 17 health, which I may even spend a little more. Yeah, whatever. Let's just go down to -6 health. We're on wave 16 here with 6 health and -10 armor. But again, what do we say, fellas and ladies and all peoples? We have to risk it for the biscuit. So do not mind playing a little bit aggressively here. So again, extra stomach is really good on Demon. It's just a little somewhat finicky to use simply because, you know, we're constantly gaining health from our Ghost Scepter procs, which means like we're very frequently at not max health, so that can be hard to pick up. And the thing is with padding as well as harvesting, what happens is you get a ton of materials at the end, and that goes ahead and spikes your health at padding, so you're not at full health when you collect those fruits at the end. So I do think extra stomach is like a really good item. I mean, who doesn't like more max health? It's just, it can be somewhat challenging to pull off, you know, as efficiently with Demon. As you can see, I tried to pick up that fruit there about 5 seconds ago, but we'd gained a health proc off of our Scepters before we could pick it up, and it ended up going to us and healing us. So I will do my best to get a little value out of it, but again, may not get as much value out of it as I might otherwise. Sure, free alien tongue. Look for something a little bit better here. I'll take a little bit of speed, as we are bound to get a power generator at some point. Take a little bit of percent damage. Do love a mouse. And we'll go ahead and go to -11 armor again to get that crit as high as possible, as well with another gentle alien. Love another community support. Love a little bit more luck. The cake is now a wash, so we will not take it. Do not mind a little bit of dodge, as we will be looking for a Retribution hoodie at some point. At this point, don't mind a ritual as well as a, what's our percent damage? I do want to get our range up for some other items later in the game, so we'll take that. And do like another bandana, but the thing is, you see, we kind of run into the issue where we spent all our health again. So we are going into a wave 17 elite with 3 health. So we really will not afford to be hit. That's I do not think it'll be a huge issue. As you see, we absolutely dumpster that elite. Again, we've done a great job of turning our Ghost Scepters into absolute machine guns. And the nice thing about Demon is if you're not able to spend all your money by re-rolling, as you can see, we had a bunch of money left in the tank there, is keeping those materials will go ahead and give us more health at the next wave. Again, our health is calculated, or sorry, materials are calculated to health in the following fashion. Half of the materials you have at the end of the wave are converted to health at the exchange rate of 13 materials to 1 health. So if we hang on all that money, it just means more health at the end of the next wave, which I'm not super upset about. But you can see we don't need to worry about potatoes or anything early on, because like our Ghost Scepters are doing more than enough damage to deal with all the challenges. So I will be hanging on to those Ghost Scepters for the extra health until I feel that we need to go ahead and swap them out to increase our damage. So feeling quite good. As you can see, we rock up all the way to 88 health here. I do not want a Bloody Hand because of how it interacts with Tardigrade, unfortunately. Do not want a free riposte. We already capped at dodge, so we'll go ahead and take some more attack speed, because I do think that scales quite well into the game. Love another bandana. We'll go ahead and grab another baby gecko. Yeah, we'll take a robot arm just to sort of worry a little bit. Man, another silver bullet. We are just absolutely stomping on silver bullets here. This is a unique item, so I will go ahead and take it. Again, I will reroll a little bit aggressively here as we are rewarded with another hunting trophy, which will help quite a bit. We're already capped on crit. And sure, we'll take another glass can as well as a candle. It is a unique item, as is that recycling machine. So we'll go ahead and take it there. So as we go into wave 18, feeling pretty darn strong. I'll do a wave 18 segue, which is on how I record my videos. I think it'll just be fun to talk about. So when I want to shoot a video, I usually pick on two things to showcase. So for example, in this video, I want to showcase the Ghost Scepter, talk about all those mechanics, as well as the Demon in endless mode. In order to accomplish that, I will string together, 5 to 10 runs in order to get something that is just good, right? Like people want to see fun runs that break open. So just doing one run, even if all the right mechanics are talked about, I don't think is good enough. So I do shoot between 5 to 10 takes in order to get you the best video possible. This does have these sort of unintended side effect where we do run the runs where, again, because I shoot these a lot back to back, as they sort of start to blur together, we'll realize afterwards I miss an important point, which makes me really want to kick myself. For example, in the lightning shift video, one thing I specifically wanted to talk about in that video is why burning sausage is not that great on that specific build, simply because the projectiles cannot trigger it. That said, I forgot it. So the point being is I do my best to get some good content out. However, it does have the unintended side effect that sometimes I do miss something I want to see, as I got it in one take, even though it ended up not being the final take. We'll take the 12 max HP there, just for more buying power, and love a third hunting trophy. I think we're going to be in a good spot to do well in endless mode. Really just need the anvil, and I feel really, really good about things. Wow, a fourth hunting trophy. Okay, I feel really, really, really good about where we are going into endless mode here. Don't need more crit. I think that's about as much as I want to spend. Again, because those extra materials that we carry with us in the next wave will in fact be extra health. I do not necessarily want to spend down all my materials and re-rolling. Saving a little bit of them does have a little bit of value. So feeling really good about where we are. Again, getting all those hunting trophies, that is a key to scaling into endless mode. So that I think will help us quite a bit. But we are off to a good start here. As you can see, we're just our machine gun Ghost Scepters. Are these SMGs or are they Ghost Scepters? I'm feeling so confident. I will take a sip of coffee, if you will just pardon me. Ah, delicious. Delicious caffeine. So I'm feeling good about this, and I think we're off to a relatively solid start here. As you can see, we're whopping up. Look at that. I mean, look at all those materials we are gathering. That will really help us get ahead, as we are well over 2,000 materials, which is sort of the hard and magic number to get to. So I'm quite happy about that, as I will try to get a little bit of value out of that extra stomach, although frankly, we're going to have so much health soon, I'm not too worried about it. For free, we'll take a butterfly. Sure, we'll take a peaceful bee. We'll get a touch of armor. And we'll actually take a little bit of luck, as I do feel a little bit behind there. Entering endless mode soon. I do not necessarily worry about harvesting at this point. Again, at this point, that's 25 luck for 12% damage. I do not know if that's quite worth it. Do like a jetpack, as that will scale with some other items we want to think about. I don't think a third baby with a beard is quite necessary. You can see our weird ghost still helping us out. What a G, weird ghost. Again, looking for some of these better items here. We'll go ahead and take a wolf helmet for 15 luck, as well as a robot arm. We'll take a tractor and a little bit more armor. Love a dangerous bunny, not doing handcuffs with endless mode, obviously. We'll take a bowler hat. So I do feel a touch behind on luck. I'll do one more reroll. I do love a target. I do love a poisonous kind. I do love a beanie. As we still have 82 health, we got plenty. So we do have 1 health, but I do think we will be able to handle this all right, although that may have been a little risky, as we will just instantly get one shot with the bosses. The Tardigrade came into help there. So almost did a no-hit almost did a no-hit boss kill there. It was kind of funny. I was like, wait a second, I really can't get hit, and I wasn't really in the mindset to do a no-hit boss kill. So I my brain realized that just a little too late. But fortunately, that's what Tardigrades are for. Anyway, hope everybody is enjoying this, as we just absolutely shellac through this run, and we're in a very good spot to do a solid endless mode run. Even if Demon, I do not think, is as strong in endless mode as Loud and Farmer. I do think those are the superior characters for endless mode. However, I do think the 3 best characters are Loud, Demon, and Farmer. I would rank them. Loud is the best in endless mode. Farmer is a little bit behind Loud, but still pretty good in endless mode. Just requires a little bit more to come together. And I would say Demon is the 3rd best character for endless mode. But we're able to absolutely demolish those bosses, so feeling pretty good about things. Love a lucky coin, and don't need a gnome though. Don't need a terrified onion, and not taking handcuffs. Do not want engineering. We'll take some max HP. Do love a big arms. Again, really do want an anvil ASAP, because I do want to start thinking about getting that armor to a more manageable level. Do like a night goggles just for the range. We'll take another tractor as well as a bait. Sure, we'll take an alloy. I do think that can be somewhat good. Do love another alien eyes. That'll help quite a bit. Sure, we'll take a tractor. Remind me, do I have a Vigilante ring. If I do not, I may want to be a little more judicious about dropping my attack speed. It actually does not look like I have a Vigilante ring yet, so something to keep in mind. And again, it being endless mode, I do want to reroll as hyper aggressively as possible. Although I do think we will stop there after taking a touch of luck. Anyway, we are in endless mode, so I will go ahead and check in on wave 22 when we have our first bosses. Shall see you there. All right, here we are going into wave 22. Do love a power generator there, and we were able to pick up a second Vigilante ring, so we did in fact have one, fortunately, which does make me happy because I do like to have those Vigilante rings rolling along as we head into endless mode. Even going to wave 22, I will take a Peacock. Enough range where I'm happy with a Cyclops Worm. Don't hate a Wings either. Love another Vigilante ring. Love an Alien Eyes. And again, we'll spend really, really aggressively here as I reroll super aggressively for some good items. But we'll go ahead and demolish these wave 22 elites. Look at that. Boom. So I'm feeling quite good. So we do have most of the pieces we need other than an early anvil, as we do want to get that armor up as we head into the deeper parts of endless mode. Obviously, the enemy starts dealing so much damage that the anvil does have diminishing returns. However, over the course of like 50, 100 waves, the difference between 91 and 93% increased damage is quite significant. It really is the difference from you being able to be one shot or take a couple hits or two. So I do really want to get that anvil online as soon as possible. Because I do think it is quite important. Although we've managed to climb all the way back to 0 armor as we took, again, the ghost weapon tag does give us -5 armor, and we took a lot of items that gave us negative armor. As I try to extract a little bit of value from these, from the extra stomach by running over the fruits here. But feeling really good. Again, you can see ghost Scepters just absolutely stomping or so. We may consider swapping in the potato throwers at some point around wave 30. Don't want a turret free, sure. Sure, why not? That we may regret that, so we're going to take that range just in case we do in fact see Retribution Hoodie, which we will see at some point. Sure, we'll take another bandana. Anyway, the next wave, next leads at wave. Oh wait, before we go there, we will go ahead and take the Retribution Hoodie. And I've talked a little bit about the interaction between Alien Eyes and Ricochet, but we'll go ahead and mess around with that here, just because I think it'll be fun to do this run. So I will see you guys on wave 24. All right, folks, so here we are on wave 24 as we absolutely are still machine gunning down these bosses without too much of an issue. So let's talk about Alien Eyes as well as Ricochet. Ricochet is obviously one of the best items in the game, especially for normal mode. Just allowing all your projectiles, all your weapon shots to hit more enemies is extraordinarily good. It does have a sort of weird interaction with Alien Eyes where we can kind of see when these Alien Eyes hit something, they end up like bouncing around in sort of odd ways, although we're currently killing everything so quickly that it's kind of hard to see. But basically, when an Alien Eyes hits something, it will kind of bounce. And I do think that is somewhat awkward in endless mode, simply because as we get deeper in endless mode, we do so much damage with our Alien Eyes that we really do want to sort of position ourselves so our Alien Eyes end up hitting the most enemies as possible, as we want to get close to an elite, so those Alien Eyes sort of spread out and 20 Alien Eyes hit something. That can just be a little more challenging with the Ricochet. Like, sometimes it can do more damage. I haven't been a huge fan of the interaction, but we'll go ahead and mess around with it here just to kind of see what it looks like. So that's my thought process there, but again, I would say I haven't tested that super extensively. Sure, we'll take a blindfold. Done a little muscly dude. Sure, butterfly. Take some range damage. So our next elite is on wave 28, so we'll go ahead and check in there. So here we are on wave 28. I have, in fact, picked up 4 Ricochets, as I do want to kind of mess around with that interaction just a little bit. In addition, we did, in fact, find an anvil, even though it's a little late. So we're at a paltry 10 armor, which is where we want to be on like wave 20, not on wave 20. Or sorry, on wave 14, not on wave 28. But you can see our projectiles absolutely causing cacophony here as we go ahead and blast around. Let's look and enjoy our crazy ghost scepters, because I will attempt to move into potato throwers at this point. Other thing I want to talk about was demon and padding as it relates to endless mode. So those sort of item padding, which is so valuable for endless mode, sort of competes with demon's mechanic. Basically, padding is worse than demon's HP conversion until about 9 paddings. After that, paddings actually become more an efficient way to scale off of health and materials. So that is something we do want to keep in mind. I had another demon run and attempting to record this video where we got like 16, 17 paddings. We sort of ran into the issue where the paddings were so much more of an efficient way to scale off of materials compared to the demon's sort of health mechanic, which scale gives you 1 HP for 13, which at padding, getting 10 of those gives you 1 HP per 10 materials, so padding can become much more efficient. It's for that reason I do think for like a super deep endless mode run, you probably want to play with a character other than demons, simply because it is more effective to scale via a lot of paddings than demons mechanic. However, again, not everything has to be the most efficient way possible. Do like another vigilante ring. Again, I do think that is a good item, and the weird ghost finally costs more than the health that we have. Do love another hunting trophy, but again, at this point, I am somewhat looking for potato throwers if we do see them. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and check in on wave 30, so I will see everybody there. So here we are on wave 30, still on Ghost Scepters. I do think we will be all right. However, as you can see, our Ghost Scepters absolutely just machine gunning everything down with our 4 ricochets, just doing a terrific job of keeping the map nice and clear. So between our, I think 2 or 3 bullet with the beards, baby with the beard, whatever that item is called, as well as our 4 ricochets, you can see everything just sort of exploding. And explosions make me quite happy. So we do have some good things going for us. A bunch of vigilante rings. However, we are a little low on paddings, which isn't as big of a deal on Demon because of their mechanic, as well as I believe we only have 3 tardigades, where you typically want at least 5 on wave 30, so we are a little behind there. Anyway, feeling good about this, we'll skip to the end of this wave. So here we are on wave 31 as we watch our ricochets. You can see Ghost Scepters still doing all right, right? Like bouncing around, doing all those projectiles bouncing, doing a great job of keeping the wave clear. So feeling good about that. Let's go ahead and skip ahead here. And just for YOLOs, let's go ahead and take a 5th ricochet. Here at wave 33, we are in fact going to make our first potato thrower swap, picking up a uncommon potato thrower. So here we are on wave 35. We have swapped over some potato throwers. We have 1 Ghost Scepter left as our anvil is working overtime to upgrade that these potato throwers. But we will get those upgraded. As you can see, relatively efficient wave clear there is our ricochets. Actually, I do think our ricochets will end up falling off quite a bit. Again, alien eyes just are such the superior source of damage in endless mode. However, for now, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can just see we're literally just exploding the entire map between our 5 ricochets as well as our multiple baby with a beards. I believe we have 3. Anyway, a lot of fun here. We'll check in here in a little bit. So here we are on wave 37 with our potato throwers, doing good work. That said, we are a little bit lower on health than I would like at only 1,000 at this point. But again, not too shabby. We'll go ahead and check in here on wave 40. So here we are on wave 40. Notably, 2 potato throwers have not been upgraded. We'll see how we do here. Although, again, I do think this one is going to lack the super deep endless mode potential. So the big thing we'll talk about here is just the demon scaling versus padding scaling, as I do think the padding scaling is more efficient. The thing about demon is no matter what you do, half your materials are still forced to scale at 13 materials to 1 HP. Whereas padding, if you have 20 paddings, which is not unreasonable in a really good endless mode run, that's just going to scale so much more effectively. So that is, I think, the downside of scaling super deep with demon. However, the advantage is you can actually buy items a lot later into the waves and still feel okay about it, as I've been buying items well into the late 30s. So a little plus and minus, but again, I do think demon mode is a lot of fun in endless demon mode. Demon is a lot of fun in the endless modes. We'll just sort of admire our potato throwers sort of causing absolute chaos here on the map. So feeling really, really good about that. So here we are on wave 50. Feels like we're hanging in there okay, so I think we'll be all right. That said, we are a little bit frail as I blow through several tardigades there, as I sort of misjudged that elite. However, are able to handle all right. I am seeing a little bit of a benefit to the ricochets, which are really helping our potato throwers. However, the alien eyes are going a little crazy. Again, what happens is the alien eyes tend to ricochet, and there's no guarantee that they will hit another enemy. Whereas when they pierce, they go ahead and hit the enemies behind them, which is pretty consistent damage. That said, we're getting some good sort of area damage with our potato throwers. The alien eyes do, in fact, ricochet before they pierce, and that's how the interaction between ricochet and ricochet, bandana, and alien eyes work, as those alien eyes do bounce before they pierce. That said, our alien eyes are doing good damage as our potato throwers. I don't know if this is going to have like super deep endless mode potential, but I do want to kind of show off where we ended up. If we are able to make it to wave 60, I will showcase it. If not, I will show where this wave met its untimely end. Free padding, not going to take it, but again, I do think padding, sort of that 50% reduction, is a little bit of a downer when comparing this particular character to others in endless mode. Notably, Of these, don't really need any of these, but rerolling is not worth any more. None of these really do anything, so we'll take some lifesteal. Anyway, we'll potentially see you on wave 60. Time shall tell. All right, we'll go ahead and run through wave 58 here. I do think this one is kind of falling apart a little bit. The one thing keeping us going is a wonderful 7 hunting trophies, as well as, I believe, as 15 alien eyes, only 8 paddings, however, as well as that demon conversion not helping us out a whole lot. So we'll see if we can survive this, though this may be the end of the road here. But we may win. I think there's a 50-50 chance. Dropping the commentary just a bit as I focus on dodging, and I think we got this. It's a little close there. We got one more elite left. But again, I think this is showing sort of the weakness of, and I think that was our last target, of just taking the ricochet with the alien eyes, simply because what happens is the alien eyes tend to hit an enemy and then kind of bounce inward, which is not what we want them to do. We want them to keep going outward. So it might help just a touch in dodging some of the elites and dealing with the elites at that juncture, but it does definitely noticeably affect sort of the overall clear. And unfortunately, while it looks really cool, this baby in the beard is not doing a whole lot of damage, as they're only hitting for about 300 to 400, which is obviously not enough damage at this point in endless mode. That said, we're able to make it through that, knock on wood, but it looks like we are clearing wave 58 without too much trouble. Since we're able to make it through this, I will go ahead and see you guys on wave 60. All right, here we are on wave 60. I do think this might be the end of the road, for this one, as we are falling apart a little bit here, but we'll go ahead and see if we can make it through. Again, those 7 hunting trophies really being the MVP of helping us scale. As again, we can see these alien eyes bouncing, definitely not doing us any favors, and I do think we will die here, although I will, of course, see if we can pull it off. We've got just a couple elites left. However, I still need to be quite careful, as the damage will kill us. And again, those alien eyes piercing do not do us any favors, as it allows the enemies to get quite close to us. However, we may end up pulling this off, as we're able to just barely take down those elites. But I'm sort of with bated breath trying to dodge the projectiles, because we are out of tardigades. But we're able to, I believe, survive 1 hit there, 1 or 2 hits. So that is definitely not a bad thing. We made it. Whew. Well, we made it past that a little bit. We'll see if we can make it here. Although, again, I don't know if this has a whole lot of room left, just based on a couple of the developments in the run. But, hey, we're able to make it through wave 60, so I will count that a win. Sure, free vigilance ring. Sure, free alien magic. Sure, coffee. Sure, glasses. Don't need that at this point. And, a little bit of extra range is not necessarily a bad thing, especially with that power generator, getting a little value of the speed. And no, don't take alien baby in endless mode. The enemy's already fast enough. Anyway, I don't know if this will make it to wave 70, so I'll go ahead and update you if it does, or where we meet our untimely end, as we have elites on wave 62, 64, as well as wave 68. All right, despite this run's best efforts, this wave, this run has not died yet. I would not be surprised if wave 70 was, in fact, the end here. So we will attempt to pull it out. I am not super optimistic about our chances, but we shall attempt to do our best, as I will shut up and actually try to dodge. How's that sound? Ooh, we got a dodge there. Didn't burn a tardigade, but did burn one there. Oof. So really getting to the edges here. So I think we may have ended up clearing it. So wow, this is getting a lot farther than I thought. I thought this was definitely going to sort of face plant around wave 60, but hey, here we are. Demon shall not be denied. All right, we'll check in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Hold my breath. Wave 71. That wave 70 was a little hurry. So we will attempt to persevere here as the NA. You got to be careful. Those rhinos really are the dangerous ones here in endless mode, as their charge is super hard to dodge, and the baby with the beard is definitely making it somewhat difficult to keep an eye on where those elites are. Took out the last rhino. We did burn through at least 4 or 5 tardigades. I believe we only have 6. We either have 5 or 6. So I do want to be really careful here as we attempt to not get hit by the projectiles, which are much more present due to the ricochets and the alien eyes not hitting as many enemies. But we may pull this off. Look at all the ricochets. I can't see anything. Look at all the ricochets. I can't see anything. So that, my friends, is where this one will end. A bunch of bruisers charged us, and with our sort of alien eyes not piercing out and dealing damage, that I think was the end of this run. I actually would have avoided the ricochets if I knew this run was going to have so much legs. It did start off somewhat weak before really getting a bunch of hunting trophies, 9 here in endless mode. So this is where this one does finish. Still a really fun run, and kind of showing you how you can have some good success with Demon in endless mode. That said, the big thing falling apart here is, again, you're sort of limited to that 13 materials to 1 HP scaling, whereas if you're able to get like 15 to 20 paddings, which is very possible at this point in endless mode, you end up just getting so much more scaling from your materials. So I do think that is the one thing to sort of think about as we evaluate the best ways to proceed deep into the depths of endless mode. Anyway, really fun run. Once again, bought almost every single item in the game, and I appreciate you watching. So thank you, and take care.